Welcome to the Shine the Way podcast. I'm joined today by Jara Shoemaker. Coach Shoemaker just completed her first year as the head coach of the women's team at Bethel College, where she led them to a second place in league and a second round game in the national tournament. Prior to this, she coached as an assistant under the legend Rocky Lamar at Bethel, and then 6 years at Life Prep Academy in Wichita, where they started the program and she helped build the program from scratch. And then before that, she was in healthcare. So we'll get into that journey later, but she's a resident of Minneapolis, Kansas, which I'm very fond of. And she has a wonderful family. I had a classmate, JC. She's probably my favorite in the family. No offense, but she's top of the line. So, but anyway, welcome.
Thank you.
Before we get into all that, let's just jump way back to young Jara, growing up in Minneapolis. Obviously a small town, at the time was 3A and it bounces around 2A, 3A. So they need people to play multiple sports. And you did that growing up. So obviously you're a basketball person. But what other sports did you grow up playing?
Volleyball, basketball, track, all in high school. I mean, I played softball growing up. But I think sports have definitely made me who I am today. I'm so glad my parents made me do multiple sports. If it were up to me, I probably would have skipped out on track. I hated track. But I think it taught me to push through being uncomfortable, and I think made me more mentally tough. So I'm glad they made me do that. Besides that, I think I was decent at it. But I wish there were more multi-sport athletes. It's actually something I look for when I'm recruiting. I think they develop different skills and are just, kind of more of a versatile athlete all around when they do multiple sports. So it's something that's definitely not as common anymore. I'm learning.
So you as you mentioned, you did that, and then you left Minneapolis and you went and played at Barton Community College, played basketball at Barton. Do you feel that playing softball, playing volleyball, running track prepared you to continue your career as a basketball player?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like the mentally toughness part of it, I think that's something kids lack. I mean, that's something we talk about every day. Like, if you want to be great, you have to be mentally tough. You have to be tough in general. But I think, yeah, that's something that made me that way for sure.
So growing up in Minneapolis, one of the things I remember about that being there is a lot of times you have, in the case we were just talking about when I was interviewing with Cody Parks, he talked about being a high school senior, him and Matt Harris coaching your brother as a youth, right? Sometimes you get high school kids coaching you. Sometimes you get parents that are just filling the spot. Sometimes you're fortunate to get that parent that actually knows what they're doing, and everything in between. Were there any coaches growing up that now that you're in the profession, you can look back on and be like, okay, it makes more sense why they were pushing me to do this, even though maybe I didn't like it back then. Now I understand it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like starting way back, YMCA, we had JC, Jessica Milam. So that was obviously really fun. I mean, I still vaguely remember those practices. But then Coach Darrow was my coach in MAYB. So fifth grade, sixth grade, seventh grade, and then even in high school. So I think he taught me a ton. Obviously, my dad was huge. He didn't coach me, but I mean, I think our family is not soft because of my dad. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I think Coach Darrow was huge. I mean, many things that I learned that I think is some things I'm like, it's crazy that these kids don't know. Like they don't even know simple things sometimes, like how to backdoor cut or man-to-man defense. And I just think it's crazy. And so I'm very thankful for things like that as far as Coach Darrow goes. I mean, I think that's kind of credited to him. Also, just growing up watching my siblings all the time, I think that definitely helped being one of the younger ones and growing up watching all of their sports definitely helped. But yeah.
You mentioned obviously Coach Darrow did a good job with you, and he's been bounced around. I think he's currently over at Sacred Heart, and they've got as an assistant doing a wonderful job there. But going back to your dad and mom, to your sister Trisha, to JC, to Jared, and to your younger sister Shay. So you're the fourth of five. So what I know of the Shoemakers is toughness.
Yeah.
And So you being the fourth out of the five, you had to be tough. Because I'm sure growing up, I'm sure Trish and JC pounded on Jared, and naturally, he's going to have looked down. Unfortunately, you're girls, but I still, as a young kid, you sometimes don't care when they're siblings, right? You're gonna take it
Jared
out
was
on
awful sometimes.
them.
I love him to death, but he was awful, and he knows it.
Well, I'm guessing at the time it really stunk.
Yes, but
When you got to Barton, though, you're like, well, shoot, I've been
yeah,
beat on by my brother for years, so anything you ladies are throwing at me, I'm prepared for that.
most definitely. And even, I mean, we had a court outside that Dad made, and I remember being out there, with Jared teaching me how to shoot or playing one on one against Shay. I mean, we were out there all the time.
Hold on, I know your brother.
He can't shoot.
No, he can't. That's the one part of his athletic ability he never got. So you're telling me you took your shooting cues from him?
I did. He
I've
did a
seen
good.
JC and Trisha shoot. I've seen Shay. Like, you could have went almost anywhere, but seriously, your brother was your
You're,
coach?
you're right. I don't know what I was thinking, but I think he did a good job. I could shoot the crap out of it when I wanted to. So I'll
I was
credit
going to
him a
say,
little bit.
you were a shooter. I'm not buying that Jared's the reason you're a shooter. Not buying it. He's a phenomenal doctor, chiropractor right now, and dad. He was an excellent football player, good basketball player, not a shooter, though.
I can't wait for him to watch this.
I may never get in the same room as him again. but no, seriously though, the toughness that your family just naturally had is something that a lot of families don't have. And as you mentioned, it starts from your mom and dad. And I'm a big fan of both of your parents. They were always wonderful to me. They were wonderful people, and that right there is something. As I follow recruiting, you always hear about, I want a kid, I want to meet their parents. Is there anything when you go on a recruiting trail that you're like, yeah, toughness? I see the toughness right there. Mom and dad are bringing it.
Yeah, I think so far one of the biggest things I've noticed is small town farm kids. They're always the tough kids, the toughest
Hmm.
kids. Um, so that's kind of one thing I don't know, kind of gone towards when I want more small town Kansas kids here. That's something we don't have a lot of. So that's a big goal of mine. But I think growing up on the farm was huge too, as far as that toughness goes. I mean, we got into so much stuff outside that I remember Jared, there's a story, I don't remember this, but the story always gets told. I mean, he was riding his bike down the huge hill by our house, wasn't supposed to be. Wrecked his bike, broke his collarbone, got up and was like, yeah. And then he's like, oh. But like just little things like that. And I think that's, being around cattle all the time. I think just stuff like that is huge. So farm kids, I've noticed, are very, very tough. So if they have even, a little bit of basketball IQ and a little bit of athleticism, I mean, that toughness goes a long ways. That's something I've had to teach as the assistant here, now as the head coach here. I mean, the girls will tell you I talk about being tough all of the time. Like I would tell them, we would ask their goals, and they were win a conference tournament, go to nationals, lower your goals. You got to get tougher before any of that happens. And I think they probably thought I was terrible for saying that to them. But now that we're there and they've kind of turned that corner, I think they're very appreciative of it and they understand how much the toughness part of it is, how important that is.
Yeah, like I said, that's something I remember growing up watching Trish, and she was a phenomenal basketball player, battled injury, but it never kept her off the court.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was a shoulder that was constantly a problem. And I know JC went through some things. And then I've seen your brother on the football field, and I mean, that dude was not afraid to put the wood to somebody. He hit,
Yeah.
and so the toughness is definitely there. Uh, Growing into that role under Coach Lamar, I'm not that familiar with him other than at MNU, right?
Hmm.
And so a couple of coaches that I'm good friends with, Matt Rice and Eric Bell, spent some time. Matt Rice was on his staff at MNU,
Okay.
and so that's the DeSoto coaches there. I interviewed Steve Wallace. I think he spent some time under Rocky Lamar. So I've heard of the name, and I know he's got 900 wins or something. What was that like learning from him? who has done it for 30, 40 years when you're just kind of dipping your toe into it.
It's been awesome, really. Even so now he's my assistant, actually. I don't know if you knew that. We just kind of switched roles. And even that, like most people that I talk to, they're like, that's not hard for you. And really, it's not. I mean, sometimes maybe a confidence, like, I won't say things sometimes because obviously you've been doing this much longer than me. I'm going to listen to you. But for the most part, I mean, he really is good about he listens to me. He's really come into the defense. I mean, he is an offensive coach. He's never done shell drill in his life, which I thought was crazy. Like, how are you any good and you've never done shell drill? But he's really come into just talking defense, talking defense, talking defense all the time, and that's just for me. He just knows how important that is to me, and so he knows that's what I want, my program to be like. So he's really bought into that, and he's been great. He's awesome. And as far as offense goes, I mean, I've learned so much from him. I'll never stop doing his transition drills. I mean, we're the fastest team in our conference because of him. So I played fast, so it's easy for me to coach that way. But his transition drills are the reason we're so good at that. So it's been awesome having him around. I love him.
I did not know that you guys just did a swap,
Yeah.
and that is really impressive. Coach Drew Diener, who was at Rockhurst, one of the things he had when he was coaching his whole time was his dad was on his sideline, who was a longtime successful college coach as well. And I asked that same question that you just mentioned. Did you ever just be like, I can't say that. Like, he knows more than I do. I can't
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're able to do that and have that success, and you guys have that relationship where he doesn't just overpower you is really impressive for him, but also even more so impressive of you to take that role and be like, this is my team. This is
Yes.
what we're going to do. Defense first, but we're
Yeah.
going to play fast still. So,
Yeah. And I mean, he'll tell me all the time, and he says it to the girls. The reason we are here is because of her. If we never would have worked this hard on defense if it was up to him. And he says that. I appreciate Coach Lamar more than he even knows. So, and he's also probably the reason I have the job. I mean, he pushed it very hard. He was great. So,
well, you don't get to where the things he's achieved, he can see talent. And it's not just one of the common things, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, but is as a coach is you have to surround yourself with very, very talented coaches. And it sounds like he was able to do that, and he spotted you as a talented coach and wanted to push for you to get it. So that's awesome.
yeah, he's
Um,
great.
all right, so let's jump backwards real quick. So you go to Barton and you play basketball at Barton, and then after that, you're done with basketball. You jump
Yes.
into the healthcare field, and you were there roughly a decade.
Yep.
What was it during that time that you felt like you were missing that made you ultimately jump back out of the healthcare field back into coaching or sports in general?
I don't know. Basketball was my first love. I love basketball, and not being able to play it anymore. I mean, my biggest regret ever is not playing after JUCO. And I tell the girls that all the time. That's one thing I really push is, I didn't listen to my siblings. Just listen to me. It's gone before you even know it. Just play while you can. So I think I just missed it a lot, and I never really thought I wanted to coach at this level. I thought like AAU was going to be fine, just getting kind of back into it. Um, but then from AAU, I met people. Jeff Henry was who I coached with at Life Prep, and he asked, I coached them in AAU. Then he was like, "Hey, you want to come help me at Life Prep?" Sure, why not? So then I was, there with him for a while, and then Rocky knew my college coach, Coach Ferguson. So that's kind of how him and I got, together here. But really, it was just missing basketball. I couldn't play anymore other than old people basketball with my sisters. So I just missed it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so I just actually had a conversation with my son. He's a junior. He's a big soccer fan and he likes to play it, and he's now that he's fully grown, he's actually pretty good. He's not elite, but he's good enough he could probably go to Baker or Bethel, something like that, and play. And I told him he needs to make a decision and just figure out what he wants to do in it. If he has any interest at all,
Do it.
go.
Hmm.
because you can always go the other direction. Easier than going to a K-State or a KU, and then trying to go back is so much more difficult, and you probably never will do it. So that's my thing. If there's any flame at all, go and see if it grows.
That's exactly. I completely agree. We had a girl. She's an incoming freshman. Her sister was actually she's graduating this year, and she just didn't know she wanted to play. And I just told her that basically that same thing. I said, if you love it at all, Callie, come play. Play 1 year. If you don't want to play anymore after that, don't play. But don't not play because you will regret it. So
In the in the transition from healthcare to, so you went AAU and life prep after healthcare. Was there any moment of second guessing? Because I don't know, and again, not really that interested, but everything I've heard, the pay was probably not comparable at the time,
right.
and so it wasn't necessarily a move from you for, hey, I'm going to go over here and make Bill Self type money or something crazy like that, right? You're doing it because it's a love of the game and the passion.
Yeah.
Did you go through that moments of that, or was it all in and you've never looked back?
I think it was pretty much all in, and I've never looked back. I mean, it doesn't even feel like a job. Like I can't imagine doing anything else. It literally does not feel like work. It's just, I mean, I'm busy as can be, but I enjoy all of it. I enjoy the recruiting part of it. I enjoy the practices, the individual workouts, everything. So,
So with the recruiting, did that take any getting used to doing?
no, not really. I did a little bit of it at Life Prep. It's a little different because it's a lot of international kids. But no, I don't know. It's kind of weird because I never thought I would be good at talking to people or anything like that. But I actually really enjoy the recruiting part of it more than I ever, more than anything, really. I recruit all the time. That's majority of my job is recruiting, and I really enjoy it. I get along with the kids. I think I'm young enough that they can relate to me still when we're, even though
Mhm.
we don't really know each other, just sitting there talking. We can talk and it's not weird. It's just, I think I've been pretty good at it. So,
Do you have an area that you stay focused on? Are you solely Kansas? Do you go outside of Kansas any,
no.
or what? Like at that level, I don't know what the budget is. I know it's not probably not nationwide, but I do know that you guys do. At least I went to an MNU soccer game, and I want to say at least 70% of those kids were not from America.
Yeah.
So it was crazy.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know if that was the same thing from a basketball perspective or if that was more just soccer.
I don't, we don't have a ton of international kids. We have four, I think. And they were here when we got here, so they weren't my recruits. Honestly, from recruiting at Life Prep, it's a whole different game here in the US. It's a lot more physical, a lot faster. They don't guard. So it takes a long time. I mean, it took us 3 to 4 years at Life Prep before they were actually a kid that, was college ready and just a kid that we, liked to be able to come in and play how we wanted him to play. So I'm not huge on it. I wouldn't not do it, but just from my, experience there, I'm not huge on the international side of things. I love our international kids. I hope they don't watch this. I love them. Um, but that's kind of just from my experience. I will say I want more. I did say this already. I want more Kansas kids, so I'm trying to recruit more here, but trying to change that. It's been hard trying to get Kansas kids in here. I mean, Tabor gets all of them. And that's just because I think that's what they've done since he's been there forever. Sean Reed, he's been there forever, and he's always recruited Kansas kids. So just trying to change that has been hard, but that's a big thing I'm trying to change. Right now, we get a lot of Texas kids, a lot of Oklahoma kids. So I'm still recruiting a lot out of there, but I'm slowly trying to just get more Kansas kids in.
So what is your base in Kansas? Are you anywhere in
Yeah,
Kansas?
yeah.
In Okay,
Small towns.
small towns. All right, that's good to know. Um, I just know, like Andy up here, right? He has a bigger populace because of that. He's right on the border of Missouri. Plus, he's got the whole metropolitan. You're not that far from Wichita, and so but I didn't know if you try to focus there because maybe that small town Kansas kid doesn't want to go 5 hours away or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, that's part of it, though. I do agree. I think small town kids tend to want to go small town. Newton's smaller, it's smaller school. So I think that definitely helps too. Um, but yeah.
So we've touched on it a little bit, and one of my favorite things is to talk about is what type of a team. Like, so if I came to a Coach Shoemaker practice, what type of team are we trying to get? All right, obviously we can just take tough. I know toughness is one. Like that one's
That
an
is
easy
the
one.
number one.
I knew that was going to be number one. You didn't even have to tell me. One of my things when I would coach my boys and the youth, and I've been coaching middle school basketball, but one of the things I've always told all my kids is effort's non-negotiable. You're
Mm-hmm.
going to try. And if you're
Yes.
not going to try, we're not going to get along. Like it's just going to be hard for me to relate because I'm not the most talented, but I always tried hard. And so I can control that. And and so do you guys have an identity that you are going for? Obviously toughness, but past the toughness.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about that all the time as well. I agree with you. Work ethic is huge. And it's easy. It's something you can control. There's no reason at all why you should not be going your hardest. We practice 2 hours a day. You can go your hardest for 2 hours a day. So yes, we talk about that a lot. And we did kind of have issues with it. I think it got better this year, but girls can have awful attitudes. I was the same way. But one thing I really, really try to talk about with them all the time is be confident. I want you to be confident. I wish I would have been more confident. I try to really be the coach that I needed when I played. Because I see a lot of me in these kids. And I think confidence was huge. If I would have been more confident, I think I could have been, a completely different player. So I tell them, like, be a little cocky. I want you to be a little cocky. Have that little edge. Like, I want you to do that. And so I think that's been really good for them. Um, talk a lot about confidence, talk a lot about toughness, but defense and rebounding. I mean, backside rebounding, there should never not be a backside rebounder. We'll talk about things like that all the time. And it took a whole 2.5 years to get them to finally go backside rebound. We would watch in film. Look where the ball's going backside rebound 90% of the time, and we have nobody there. It's just stupid. Go rebound. But I think that those two things also come down to toughness. I mean, that all comes down in one. Those are hard things to do. Nobody wants to guard. Nobody wants to rebound. That's not fun. Everybody wants to score. So the tough teams win. I mean, tough teams guard, tough teams board, and those are the teams that win the big games. You can run and score your transition layups all you want to, but if you're giving up as many and more shots than you're scoring, you're not helping us.
Yeah. Is there something, so first of all, I didn't like hearing that girls, what you call that comment on girls, because I'm actually transitioning for the next 2 years to coach 7th and 8th grade girls because my daughter,
Have fun.
it's going to be a totally different world than coaching my son's team the last 2 years, because my assistant coach and we'd coached our boys growing up from like the last 7 years. So we knew if nothing else, if we couldn't get the other kids to join us, those two were going to outwork everybody. Fortunately, we had a team of kids that all worked hard, and now I got to figure out how to manage girls.
Yeah,
That's going
have
to be
fun.
that's going to be an interesting one. I may be texting you and be like, "Hey, what do I do here?"
Don't text me. I don't know. No,
uh,
I'm sure Keith, I've talked to Coach Ferguson multiple times, and I have told him how sorry I am ever since I started coaching. I'm like, I know you wanted to kill me because I want to kill these girls. Like, they make me want to pull my hair out sometimes. And that kind of brings up Carly Locke. This girl is so athletic, it's not even funny. I've been telling her since day one, you should be a double double. You should be a walking double double. There's no reason. And it was more her attitude. She just didn't have the greatest attitude, but I stayed on her. I didn't, I yelled at her. I don't get me wrong, but I always ended it with a smile and a little smack on the back of the head. Like, I'm like, you are so good. You're too good. Like, I'm not going to let you settle for this. It's not going to happen. So you better just get used to it. And I think just her hearing it over and over and over again, made her believe in herself. And she was incredible this year. I'm like, I've been trying to get you to do this for a year, Carly, 2 years now. like you butt head, and I think she really appreciates it. I mean, we have a great relationship, so.
We got some questions on girls in general, but that actually brings me to a point that I wanted to bring up because I've recently been seeing on social media the ladies coach here in the NCAA tournament. I can't think of her name, but she was getting into one of her players, and one of the
I saw
things
that.
you lip read is "I believe in you," and then
Hmm.
she essentially says, paraphrasing here, "You got to believe in yourself and want to do it." And it sounds like when you're at your level as a college coach, you build that, you spend so much time together, I'm sure, that you build relationships so that you can have those tough conversations and tell them what you need to tell them to get them to be their best self. Does it take time, or does it like, is it, I guess, let me ask this in a better way. You have, I don't know how many, say you have 15 girls on your roster. Do you have to figure out 15 different ways to connect, or are you Coach Shoemaker and they gotta bend to my way, or like do you go different
I
for
think
each
it's
girl?
both. I'm kind of the same way with all of them, though. I may spend a little more time on some of them than others, but I feel like I'm always trying to get the confidence thing out of them. I think with girls, it's huge. I mean, I think confidence is the biggest thing with girls. If they're not confident, it's not going to go well. Um, so I mean, whether they're a reserve kid or a varsity kid, I think I'm kind of the same way as far as that goes. I'm always trying to get them just be confident in yourself and tell them. I really try to tell them while still coaching them hard and telling them what they're doing wrong. I really always try to tell them when they do something right as well. Which I mean, I've heard from all of them. We did our exit interviews, and I think every one of them has said that they appreciated that. Like, you don't just tell me what I'm doing wrong; you also tell me when I do something right. So I think that's huge.
Yeah, that's good, and that's what that player in that video mentioned, that she loves the hard coaching. Like
Mhm.
that's, I want to get better, and that's how I get better. Um, so with a girls program, like I'm a lot more familiar with the boys side of sports. I've connected with a lot of the coaches around here that are on the boys and talk basketball with them. Some on the girls side too. Do you on the girls side? I'm assuming you have to have an alpha, or you try to find that alpha on your team. Like we had an alpha on my middle school team, and fortunately he was good. And in the championship game, he came off this court just ranting and raving, saying, "Oh, okay, so that's what we're going to do." I thought a kid was talking smack to him, and he's
Pumping
getting
them on.
amped up and
Yeah,
ready to go. And I'm like, okay, I like this. Come to
yeah.
find out, he was, I think, just doing the Jordan make it up situation. I was like, I don't care, that works. Does that happen on the girls' side? Do you have an alpha that's like, okay, we need a bucket, give me the ball, get out of the way, this is mine?
So I don't know if you knew, Kendall Locke was Player of the Year. So Kendall and Carly are twin sisters. Kendall
Okay.
was Player of the Year. She hit a game-winning bucket against Tabor, and then the next game, the same week, hit a game-winning bucket against Ottawa. So
Okay.
yeah,
I like
so
that.
I definitely would say Kendall is that girl. I mean, we go to Kendall for everything. The girls go to
Mm.
Kendall for everything. So yeah,
That's
it's
that's good. And I think they know when to go. And I watch KU. They're a good basketball team. I love what the way Bill Self coaches, even though I'm a K State fan, and we were awful this year, so that was not fun. But I just kept wanting more from Darren Peterson to be that guy. Turns out they may have had the other guy, that the council kid. Turned out when he got the opportunity, he became that. But I didn't ever really see it from them. And then, the way they lost to St. John's kind of goes against your motto of you have to defend, and they did not.
that was
Uh,
awful.
Not to bring that up, KU fans, but I'm just saying, come on now.
It was awful.
Yeah, straight line drive from
I
across
was just about
midcourt.
to say that exact same thing. Straight line drive.
You make him turn one time, it's over. It's
Yeah.
overtime. He can't score. With your program, you mentioned toughness on defense and play fast. So I've got a question, because one of the things, I grew up with Coach Williams. We were up full court, and then I like to pressure full court. I don't like letting a ball handler just walk it up. I want somebody to at least make him work, even if, and I tell him, you're not trying to steal it. You're wearing him out. So in the fourth quarter, he's mentally tired.
Yeah.
That's when you get one.
Yeah.
How do you play fast and play good defense?
It was actually very hard for us. So we started off trying to press. We actually went away from pressing just because we're not deep enough, number one, to play that way. Number two, even if you are, it's hard to play that way. So it was hard, but that's where I would talk a lot about you. That's where your mental toughness has to come in to play. I mean, I know it's hard, but I mean, I can't think of how many times I said, all right, 20 more minutes after halftime. And then after the third quarter, 10 more minutes. Like, you guys got 10 more minutes. Let's go. And yeah, I don't know. It's definitely hard. We don't press because of it. I want to start pressing. We would have our quick little point guard pressure, like you said, just pressure them coming up sometimes. But one thing we really had to change, so we were lock left, which I think at this level it's super important. Just make them play with their bad hand. Girls, I think that's very important. They're not very good with their offhand. But one thing that just killed us was we're lock left. So they're on the right side and we're forcing them left. In my head, we're forcing them sideline, baseline. In their head, they're forcing them left straight to the middle. I'm like, no, this is the last, I'm thinking it's like common sense. That's the last place we want them. Or straight line drives, on the left side, we give them a straight line drive to the basket. So what we realized though was, number one, it's not their fault. We didn't think to be like sideline baseline guys, sideline baseline. We would just be like, what the heck? Like, we keep them out of the lane. We'd just be on them about that's not lock left. Like, that's not what we mean. Finally, we broke it down and explained it to them, and we kind of changed. We realized we're not good on ball defenders. We can't keep them in front. So we decided, let's give them a step and be in the gaps and kind of go from there. I think that changed everything for us. So go ahead.
Was I was just gonna say, was that more of a switch to the gosh dang it, we ran it, and Bennett at Virginia ran at the pack line.
Oh, yes, it was kind of a mixture, but yes.
Mixed. Okay.
Yeah. So we still forced everyone left, but we started doing zigzag, number one, another big thing we did. And started zigzag in practice every day, did zigzag drill. So we got better at on-ball defending, but I think that was just huge for us. Teaching them to be in a stance. They were never in a stance. I'm like, high is slow, low is fast. Like, you guys got to learn to get down and get low and get quicker. Like, we weren't just little things like that drove me nuts, but we got better at them just once we finally started putting an emphasis on them and really focusing on them in practice. So got way better at that. Our help side got so much better. That was all. We had to change things up rather than just stay on them over and over for the same things that I think they just didn't even understand from the beginning. So that was huge for us.
Were you able to play fast and not give up layups when you get going so fast that you get a layup or you get a quick shot, and were you able to get back good enough that it wasn't just a running game back and forth?
No, actually it wasn't. It's kind of crazy too. I had thought about that a few times. People don't run like us. They never really tried, and we were really good, which this is not something we worked on very often, but we always had a safety back. We talked about it a little bit. I just said kind of, whoever's closest, get back. The rest of you need to get your butts to the board. And we did a pretty decent job of that. I think sometimes actually we did too good of job of that because we didn't go rebound. So I'm mad because we're not going to rebound, but at least they're getting back. Coach Lamar always said, if you're not in the act of rebound, your butt better be getting back. I don't know. I would rather have 4 of them rebounding and one getting back, and sometimes we did, but when they get tired, I think I noticed it the most when they got tired is when they decided not to rebound.
You mentioned earlier that 90% of the shots that are missed, especially from the side or the wing, are going their opposite. My assistant coach, he found a stat that a coach tracked it, and it was literally 70 to 72% of every miss was there. Do you guys track stats like that? So you in practice, do you track stuff?
No.
You have say, hey, I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, but I definitely want to. We've talked about it. Coach Lamar does a kind of something similar to that. It's not necessarily that, but he does do like the offensive side of it where, he'll do turnovers and things like that too. But if it's turnovers, it's like a -3, missed 3, -2, made 3 plus. He does stuff like that, which I really like. But no, I want to do more stuff like that because I think that's what them seeing it is what helps them be like, really buy into it, be like, okay, you're right.
Well, so we talked about that, and the other thing we talked about was dribble up, pass to the wing. You're maybe going to hit in middle school. You're probably going to hit maybe 15 to 20%. If you swing it to the other side, it goes up about 10%. And then if you swing it back to the other side, you're probably another 10% chance of making it. And just getting them to understand the reason is because the defense is moving. That
Making it hard.
third pass is a much easier shot, even though it's the exact same shot you could have got on the first pass.
Yeah.
Your feet are set, the defense isn't prepared, and so I just was curious at the college level if you guys have the capability and the time, because I know you're busy, you got 2 hours to get things done, and so sitting there talking about that may not be time, it may be considered time wasting, but I just was curious.
No, I agree though. I want to do that. I think we can tell them over and over and over again, but until they see things, sometimes unfortunately they don't. I think they don't think we know what we're talking about all the time. And
Mhm.
especially, you know what? Actually, me coming in and me being younger, I actually look back and I'm like, you just didn't think I knew what I was talking. I joke about stuff like that. I'm like, you think I just didn't know what I was talking about, huh? Like when I'll tell them, I mean, crazy stuff. Like the middle is wide open. Your defender hasn't looked at you in 3 seconds and you're still standing in the same spot. Cut to the gap, like do something, you know? And Corinne, I can remember Corinne turning and looking at me and smiling after she did something and like that and scored off of it. And I'm like, duh, like I promise I know what I'm talking about, but
Mhm.
I think the more I've been around, the more they trust me and stuff like that. They really are trying to listen.
So you have, say you're in year 5 and you've been on the recruiting trail. What style of team are you looking to put together? Are you going more 5 guards? Are you trying to get 4 guards and a big? Are you trying to maybe have 2 bigs? Like, what's your style there?
I like both. I think we really lacked a big. We so my first last year, I guess we really lacked a big. We had Madison, who was our five, but she's really more of a 3-4. She's 5'10", very athletic, just not really a five. She played the five for us. This year we got a junior who played volleyball. Um, Here played a high school basketball. I mean, she was a game changer for us this year. I don't think we make it as far as we made it without her. But when I really, really noticed this year was we've got to have a big. I mean, I had Jordan Crossan, and I loved playing with Jordan. She was tough inside, post bury people. We played Tabor, and I mean, their bigs are so good. They just buried us. I'm like, we need that. We don't necessarily have to play them the entire game. I mean, we can go 5 out and stuff like that, but we need that. Not only to guard them, number one, but then to go do that back to them. Like it actually made me mad that we couldn't go down and bury them, do the same thing they're doing to us. And they beat us. They slowed us down. They beat us because of that.
So this year's team. So I was able to watch a few games of St. Mary because Quinn Carpenter, I'm family friend there, the Tower Girls, and so I watched a few of them. They were not very. They had the one girl that was big, but they weren't a very big team. We, are you guys comparative? Like how? I'm just trying to get a gauge for how
No,
what your
because they
team's like.
can shoot the crap out of it. We
But
can't
they can
shoot.
do that.
We can't shoot for the life of us. I think
Jared's been coaching them. That's
our
the problem.
team 3-point percentage was under 30%. If I played us, I would have either zoned us or sagged off so far. Although Andy zoned us and we beat them. So maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we're all right if we get zoned. But I would have zoned us all year, or I would have sagged off of us and dared us to shoot it. Nobody did that to us. I don't know why. And to your point too of reversing the ball, we got very big on kickouts. We talked a lot. Kick out, highest percentage three in the game of basketball. That's really the only three we want you guys shooting. So get it inside and get it back out if you want to shoot the three. And that upped our percentage a little bit, but
How many did you shoot a game? You think?
uh, more than we should have. I don't know, more than we should
That's
have.
all.
That's
That's
for
always
sure.
the case.
Yeah, it really was. There were times where we had to tell them, like, you're doing exactly what they want you to do. You're shooting yourselves out of the game. Like, stop. I mean, it'd be one pass, like you said, and shoot it. And we were a lot better in the full court. I mean, we're better playing 94 feet from the basket. When we got into the half court, we were never as good. We tried to score too quick because we like to play so fast that then we would always try to score way too fast. And another thing we talked about often, but it just never really stuck. We try to play. I think that's something we do need to talk about more is in the half court. Yeah, we're trying to play fast, but in the half court, you kind of want to slow it down.
I've always found it tough for the teams that I like to get. I'm like you. I like to get up and down, and when we actually get into a half court game, we get stagnant or
Mm-hmm.
like it. We're just kind of awkward. Like we don't know what to do, and it's like,
Yeah,
guys, it's still playing basketball.
yeah,
You just move the ball.
that was
Um,
us.
well, that's good. So I've got some quick hitters for you here. Some questions there. Some of these might be easy, and some might be a little more difficult. The first one we're going to start with is so year one as the head coach. Give me two, three, four girls that you had to game plan them for this year in league or in the national tournament that were just difficult people to for your team to handle.
Oh, I mean, I could go Evangel, who finished above us. We split with them, but I mean, they had just shooters. I couldn't even pick one to be honest with you. I mean, they're big. Evan Shockley, she could shoot the three. She could take you in and bury you. They had they had one girl this year. I can't remember what her name is. Amy Cammy's maybe. No left hand. She couldn't go left if her life depended on it. And I'm like, just sit. What? Why? We would cut her off going left. I'm like, why? She wants to come back right. Just keep her there. But she killed us. She killed us. I don't know. A girl from Tabor, names, I can't think of names right now. But I mean, I
Yeah.
could think of one girl on every team probably. The KCSE was pretty stacked
Hmm.
this year.
Give me your starting five for the Kansas Jayhawks all time.
All time,
Yep, you can choose
I,
anybody that's played there.
I don't even, I'll
I
go
would
with
recommend
one.
nobody off this current team.
I
They don't make the list.
don't worry about it. I gotta go with Mario. I mean, that's from
Yeah,
my
that's a big.
time.
Yeah, that's a big shot too. I mean,
Kirk Heinrich,
mm,
Paul Pierce. How many is that? Three? Danny
three.
Manning, I guess. Danny Manning.
Man, that's four. That's pretty legit. I mean, your fifth. There's a lot of options for the number
Well,
five. Don't
Nick
mess it up.
Collison.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, I like it. That's a good team. That's a good team. You are there any lady basketball players, WNBA or college, anywhere that you enjoy watching, or that you would recommend, say, your girls on your team to watch how they play, the style they play?
This is awful, but I watch zero NBA or WNBA or NBA, honestly. But I mean, Caitlin Clark, obviously. She's a
Yeah,
passing machine. More than
I.
shooting, and she can pass like
That's what
crazy.
I don't think she gets credit for enough.
Yeah.
Is everybody sees the shots, and you have to love her because she's tough. I mean,
She's phenomenal.
yeah, that's okay. I don't watch the
I don't know how
WNBA
well she
either.
guards.
Um, uh, when you do what she does there, you can get a
You can
pass.
get away with it, right?
Somebody else can guard. There's always
Okay.
somebody on the other team that you don't have to guard. That's who you put
Okay.
her on. Just be like, save your energy for that end.
If she's
So,
on my team, I don't think I can. I don't think I'll be able to say that. But since she's not on my team,
well, she's yeah. I don't know. I think she might do pretty well in the KCAC. I don't know. Just
I
I
think
think
I'd tell her, "You think you're good now? You start guarding, you'll be really legit."
yeah. That would she she could get a little better at that. You know, everybody can improve somewhere.
True.
All right, so you're good friends with Coach Kelly at St. Mary. Who's a better shooter?
Oh, me, hands down. Kelly can't shoot. Look at him. You can look at him and tell he can't shoot.
He's a
I mean,
golfer.
any
I
coach.
know he's a golfer that coaches basketball. I know. I understand. So you're taking that one. All right. You're beating him in a game of shooting. All right. If you played him in golf, I assume he wins.
Yes, I have no idea how to golf.
Yeah. All right. In the family, you got the siblings in their prime: Trish, JC, you, Shay, and Jared. Rank
Shay,
them. Who's the best shooter to the worst shooter in the prime?
oh my gosh, they're
Yeah,
gonna
come on.
kill me.
That's okay.
It's
You can
gonna be
blame me. I think
shooter,
Jared's already going to kill me anyway.
shooter. They're all gonna kill me. I'm gonna have to say me, shooter, then Shay, then Jared. I don't know. Trish and JC, they might be tied. I don't know. Probably
Ooh.
Trish. JC's gonna kill me.
Oh man. Oh, okay. If you guys went out today, right now, who would win in a game of shooting contest?
me, but they'll say it's just because I get to shoot all the time,
Yeah,
playing
that's
being
just
a
their
coach.
excuse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, Jared, this has been a lot of fun. Jared, just just poking fun at you. Don't kill me. Um, and I'm a big fan of your family. Always have been. Always, your mom always made me laugh. And as I posted on Facebook, your grandpa Gerald, my dad talked about him all the time, and he was always very positive to me when I was growing up. And so this was one that I've been really looking forward. You could have finished last in league, and I wouldn't care. But the fact that you in your
I
first
would have.
year, well, you would have,
I might have
and
told you no.
we would have talked you into it. I think we would have figured it out. Um, but the fact that you took second in your first year, I mean, that's really impressive. And I'm excited to watch what you can do now as you continue, and if you continue to build with some tough Kansas farm girls. Watch out, KCAC. It's going to be tough to beat Bethel. They might
I
beat you
hope
up.
so. I hope
So,
so. Thank you.
well, thank you for coming on, and good luck with everything. This is
Thank
awesome.
you. I appreciate it,
I
Jake.
love seeing people that I grew up with succeed, and you are succeeding. So kudos to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.